Right, Liverpool versus Manchester United, Sunday at 4:30. It's Manchester United's 100th trip to Anfield. No doubt they'll have the balloons out for them.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Here they are again.
Yeah.
Our friends of
Celebrate
yours.
a high line. Come on.
We enjoyed it so much last time, we had to come back.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Liverpool, of course, on a 3-match losing streak. Manchester United are on a 1-match winning run.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim's not looking at it that way, is he?
Yeah.
He's not looking at it like that at all.
Well, it wasn't too worried about losing momentum going into the international break, because obviously that is a bit of a signal. If you have a poor result into the international break, okay, we can maybe patch that up. And perhaps
time sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Perhaps it was a bit of salve for Liverpool. Whereas Ruben Amorim, were you a little bit annoyed? You know, you got a positive result against Sunderland, and he said, "Well, there is no momentum with our team, so a break without a break, no, it doesn't make a difference."
It's just more of the same, really, from Ruben.
What do you expect from me?
It's worth sort of remembering that Liverpool's 3 defeats were away from Anfield, and Manchester United do generally raise their game against Liverpool in every fixture that they've ever played in the last sort of 20 years.
Apart from when they lost 7-0?
Maybe they raised their game too hard, left the back door open.
They did lose 7-0 to them, Pete. It's important to say that.
Out of how many fixtures have been played in the last 20 years?
That proves the rule.
It's the first one I thought of.
I know, because you were proving me wrong. That's what drives you.
What fuels me. Yeah.
It's like the mitochondria in your cells. Can I upset Peter today?
The powerhouse of the cell.
It is going to take a raising of Mary Rose proportions for Manchester United to get anything out of this game, one would suggest.
Oh, it's a great reference.
Well,
I remember the Mary Rose being raised.
Yeah. It was a big moment, wasn't it?
Well, some were suggesting, though, that Liverpool, on the odd occasion, have struggled against like a back three and blah, 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 and could Man United. And then it was kind of like, no, they struggle against specifically Crystal Palace. Right? Crystal Palace are really well drilled defensively, okay? Yeah. So I'm not sure that will
Well, in your
translate.
defence, Peter, it was 2-2 last time, wasn't it? But Liverpool had a good old lovely turn around the block at Old Trafford, didn't they?
It's fair to say.
But I like this era of managers now being super honest and negative about their players and their team's chances.
It used to be sort of rinsing the team. Now it's just how people talk.
Is it
Everyone's gone emo.
I feel it's more specifically Ruben Amorim.
No, Pep does it a lot.
Oh, no, well...
obviously, the trailblazer in here would be Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's not
Pep
just
was always
football.
full of praise. Is that what you're saying? That even he's caught the bug?
Sometimes it'd be praise for the other team.
When they've lost.
Yeah.
When they've beaten the other team, he's not going to go, oh, they were so good. That's why they beat us 2-0.
But if you said to me, think of a Pep Guardiola post-match interview or whatever, or an interview, I'm thinking about that when he kept scratching his own head.
That wasn't during the interview.
It's a negative thing, though, isn't it?
Marcus, he did the interview from his bedroom trying to learn chords to Dashboard Confessional tracks.
Really? Well,
That's how sad he was.
And he was smoking in bed.
He was vaping.
Like when everyone used
he was
to,
vaping a Lost Mary.
In the 70s, everyone used to smoke in bed, didn't they? It's one of the
Yes.
big, a really big killer of people.
Biggest killers.
What about, do people still have breakfast in bed? That was a big thing back in the 90s.
Teasmaids, big fan of Teasmaids. Bring them back.
On my birthday, I want breakfast in bed.
I certainly never had breakfast in bed.
Why? It's horrible. Like, unless you have a tray, like a raised tray, it's a losing.
Unless you have staff, it's not working, is it?
Yeah, I'm going to make this breakfast now. I'm going to take it back to my own bed. Yeah,
I want the bedroom to smell of eggs, please.
Yeah.
More of eggs.
True.
After my night.
Smells of pumps in your... You'll smell of pumps.
All right, come on.
Come on.
Hang on. One more.
No, not one more.
Dog pumps.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit.
See, that's why I didn't want one more. Liverpool are on a poor run. There's no two ways about that. And there are areas in their side that are obviously not clicking at the moment, Luke Moore, you would say. Fullbacks, maybe. The midfield balance with Wirtz going in there. Yeah. I mean, the German media have been very quick to defend Florian Wirtz's form after his slow start at Liverpool. Even former Norway international Jan Åge Fjørtoft said about Wirtz, he seems to be responsible for everything negative at Liverpool. The only thing missing is for him to be blamed for the Beatles not performing anymore.
Yeah.
That's a
Cheers,
reference, isn't it?
He thinks that's funny, doesn't he?
A mutual Norwegian friend of ours, which I'm sure nobody will be able to guess.
Yeah, Lars Sivertsen.
Is one of our former.
I was struggling to think of another one.
I mean, in a way, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is your friend and mine.
Nothing that you can accuse Lars Sivertsen of saying now is going to be worse than some of the stuff he does say on the show. I don't worry too much about it.
He said old Fjørtoft's a bit of a rent to quote.
Of course he is.
Right. Yeah.
But they all are, aren't they?
Aren't we? We're all in it together.
Do it.
Go on, Jan, say something else outrageous.
You can say that about Roy Keane, and I bloody love him.
Talk about the Beatles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it to do with Wirtz's poor form that the Beatles aren't around anymore?
I think it's a hell of a coincidence. One hell of a coincidence, Marcus.
The sons of Lennon and McCartney are doing their best to resurrect it.
Are they doing their best?
Resurrect.
They're doing the best they can do with the life of immense privilege they've received.
They're going into a recording studio with guitars. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
It's more than we've done, to be fair.
More than we've done.
Yeah.
But, there's still time. But look, but they are struggling to get that balance right.
I wonder if Wirtz will play against Man United. I think it depends on the fitness of Gravenberch, doesn't it? Because he came off international week with a hamstring. Mm-hmm. He's since said that he thinks he's going to be fine. So obviously, if he's fine, he'll play. Mm-hmm. If he does play, I wonder if Wirtz is riding the bench, is riding the splinters.
Yes, I know. Well, he was put on the bench for the Everton game.
Exactly.
Obviously, derby. This is a derby, isn't it? That
is.
kind of atmosphere. So I know what you mean.
And I'd also say that you definitely got issues at fullback, and you've also got Slot comes in and wins the league with Liverpool, and he doesn't really change much. And I was spending quite a lot of last season saying I really admire it. I really admire that he's confident enough to go, this is working great. Like, I'm not going to muck about with it and be arrogant about it. But what's interesting subsequently is that when he does muck about with it, spends loads of money, brings loads of players in, it's starting to look a little bit incoherent. There's also big problems at centre back as well with Konate, who's been so inconsistent. And obviously Alisson's out as well. So
do you feel though? Sorry, you were going to say.
It is quite remarkable to think about because they're still right up there. They still had loads of positive results. I appreciate they're off the back of a bit of a mini bad run,
but the performances have been questionable.
Yeah. They have,
by their own high standards, and you sort of look at players like Salah, who has had a couple of off games, and you're like,
he's not really done much.
He's not really done much after a really, really good start for him. I very much like by 11.
Get yourself to AFCON, lad.
Exactly. Yeah, just go now.
Little reset.
Do a little pre-season sort of pre-tournament, little sort of.
Imagine that.
Dally.
Doesn't start till December. I'm going now.
They've got enough firepower at the top.
Yeah, I've got to get there early to check in at the airport.
I've not got the easy check-in bit. No. I think Wirtz has looked all right, but not in his position. He spends a lot of time in front of the back four, just sort of doing bits, and he looks good there. Maybe retrain him.
True.
As a defensive midfielder.
Quite possible. Well, I know. Look, it's very early days for crying out loud. We've seen that players
There's still sleep in our eyes.
Exactly, Peter.
Yeah.
There's still sleep in there. Yeah. But Wirtz, players of bigger profiles and more experience have come to the Premier League and struggled to fit in at first.
Well, like Alexander Isak, for example.
Well, if you like. So again, I don't want to go over the top here, but that midfield three of Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, he's bloody good.
But Szoboszlai's had to be a bit of a Swiss Army knife so far this season.
He has, but those three, see, this is the thing with Wirtz. When I think of Liverpool midfielders, basically from Klopp until now, obviously, as you mentioned, Slot didn't really change that much. I think a very, very powerful industrial midfield. And that's not to take away from the quality and a little bit of the creativity, but I think a lot of running, a lot just relentless, and yes, can score goals. I mean, McAllister and Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, we know they can score goals from range and all the rest of it. So there's a lot going on there. But Wirtz, it is kind of like, where do you put him in? Where do you fit him in? Is he going to just be out on the wing? It would seem kind of a waste. You want to kind of drift inside. And I feel that dynamic that they've really not settled on. And with Salah as well, last season Slot said, right, do not defend, you just stay up there kind of thing. I think teams are much more aware of all this stuff. And Slot himself said that the way teams played against them in the second half of the season compared to the first was very different. He said in the first, teams were trying to have a go a bit more, which naturally gives a little bit more space, etc., etc. In the second half of the season, he said that they basically just shut up shop and tried to defend. Yeah. Liverpool much better in the first half of the season than the second half, even though they were still good in the second half. I wonder if there's quite a lot for Slot to sort out, and I think teams are looking at Liverpool going, we're not afraid of you as we were, and there are obvious little points of little kind of chinks in your armour where we can sort of have a go at, and you're seeing that now. So there's a lot to do, because if Liverpool don't get a positive result against Manchester United, and dare I even say the performance isn't particularly good, I think, again, I'm not saying he's under threat, that would be absolute madness and so on, but you just start, hang on a minute, this narrative is here, there's a little bit of a rot.
But Man United are terrified of everyone, aren't they?
As they should be.
Yeah, so yeah. It's that it wouldn't be a massive surprise for Man United to make it difficult for Liverpool, but it also wouldn't be a massive surprise that Liverpool just instantly got straight back on the horse and galloped off.
Let me say for the record, I do think Liverpool will win.
Right.
You know, I just think that, again, if it's a little bit of a stodgy performance or not so convincing, you know, people are going to start, you know what it's like in football, you kind of get these
especially with the club like Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Who achieved so much last season.
Yeah.
The fan base is very talky, aren't they? Do a lot of talking.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're still getting the results, though, and they're still in contention, then that's something.
He has got really big decisions to make around Wirtz because and around Isak as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it's perhaps a little bit premature for Isak to be talked about in this way because he's probably not fully match fit yet. But obviously he's not scored. He's got an assist, but that was basically an accident. And
he was stripped of the captaincy in the international break with Sweden, so he's not had a good time there.
No, no one's having a good time with Sweden at the moment. Let's be absolutely clear.
I think Jokeres was the Nations League top scorer, though.
That's true. Yeah,
as he reminded everybody at a very opportune time.
Hugo Ekitike is obviously waiting in the wings. I know he's had a little bit of injury down,
but he's had a good start to the season.
That's what I'm saying. So the point being that it starts to get more complicated for Slot because if shit isn't going right and they don't beat Man United, the big decisions he has to make are around like really key players they spent a lot of money on: Kerkez, Isak, and Wirtz.
Not just a lot of money, a lot of.
Cultural capital,
a lot of headlines, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of chat. It's a heavy weight on his shoulders, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, Wirtz and Isak, you spend that amount of money on players.
240 between us, 250 between us.
Having not spent anything in the previous transfer window, in the previous summer, much was made of that. He's gone, right, I was just, you say I can't spend money, don't you worry about that.
Being a known quantity, this is the level of, being a team that should be challenging Champions League, titles.
It might well be that also the one player they needed, they didn't get, is Gay, right?
Yeah.
Because it looks like at the moment, early days and stuff, but it looks like it is a little bit imbalanced and it's difficult to know what players to play in what position and when to stick with them and when to move them on to the bench and bring other players in. But like the one thing they could have done is they could have got Gay, possibly, and he would have been a massive upgrade on Konate.
Well, there was chat, wasn't there, that maybe Gay goes in January or next summer, and then there was reports came in that Gay was apparently interested in Real Madrid. And I thought,
here we go. Rat.
Is he a rat, even though he's not played for them?
I'll tell you what.
Rat adjacent has to be.
Yeah. It's a rat attack.
He might have done a medical.
He did?
Yeah. So if he did a medical and they found out for sure that he's definitely a human, and not
I don't think he's not. He can't be full rat. Maybe a mouse. Would he?
Yeah.
Aren't their legs on backwards like dogs or horses?
What, mice?
Yeah, mice. Don't they have?
I don't think a mouse has got the same connotations, is it?
No.
Snake?
I guess not.
Be a snake?
What's this chat about the legs being on backwards?
A bit on horses' legs on backwards.
Oh God!
I've moved on to horses now. I'm not that confident about the rat thing.
Which animal do you think it is? Because you've got mouse.
Which animal's got legs backwards?
But presumably, though, for them it wouldn't be backwards, would it?
No, we're all backwards.
Maybe we are
exactly, and that's the perspective of a horse.
I never ever heard that before. Horse has got legs on backwards.
I think so.
Yeah,
he thinks.
Yeah.
Was it cows? Who can go upstairs?
No, cows can't go downstairs. Apparently.
Right. Why are they even going?
What's that got to do with a horse being legs
backwards? What perverted farmer is doing that?
That's why if they walk into a block of flats, you go, don't climb the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's them. They're
why is
a
farmer luring a cow into a cellar?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
I don't know, Peter.
And that's why we should tax them harder.
Something though. The old cow tax.
The old cow tax. Did you say, before we move on, did you see that...
is this to do with cows or Man United yet?
Isaac Alexander, the player for QPR, it was his birthday this week.
Did see
Which is
that,
very enjoyable. Sign him.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaac, he's a tall guy.
His legs on backwards.
His legs on backwards. Isaac is a tall player. Stick him in defence. Stick him in centre back.
If his legs are on backwards, he can track back quite happily, can't he?
A proper
beat the press.
A proper Sergio Giorgini of a player. Like, isn't it? Alexander Isak? No.
Yeah.
Isaac Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should, at some point, we hope they're in the same side together.
Oh, well, or at least the same league. It'd be lovely.
And if you don't want that, then you need to learn how to love again. I'm telling you. I am
still
telling
got joy for it.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. So Liverpool are the favourites, but...
Should we talk about Man United or not bother?
We can talk about Manchester United, yeah. Go on then, let's get them out of the way.
I liked that there's chat about them having to possibly give Casemiro a new contract.
Yeah, but they were like, but not on the same wages.
Yeah, but the thing is that the reason it's a funny story is because it kind of implies that they have to keep him because they're not happy with Manuel Ugarte and Kobe Mainoo wants to leave.
Yeah.
So it's not the most compelling amount of leverage possible, is it? To say to Casemiro, we haven't got any others. you mind taking a pay cut to stay?
Yeah.
No, so you need me more then.
Yeah.
So I'll have more money. Thanks very
But
much.
they also know that they're not
You're looking younger
on.
every time. You're going to be on a YTS contract in a minute.
That's true. Yeah, it remains to be seen whether he takes it or not. But
They've got an extension option, haven't they?
yeah,
Every now and again, though, he puts in a performance and you go, come on.
There he is.
There he is. There's still a bit left.
it is genuinely quite
Bizarre, isn't it?
sad, isn't it? Because what a player he was for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And he has put, earlier on in his career, shift at Manchester United. It's just, he has, as they all have, become a victim of that club at the moment. It's just madness.
If he went to I don't know, Real Valladolid or something, he would just tear it up. He'd
What
just
a
tear up
shout.
the league. What a shout.
Lovely
I'm just thinking of
mention
a cult rubbish Spanish team. I'm just sort of thinking if he went somewhere else, he would probably have a nice time.
Is it the climate? Do you think the climate? Is he going to be an absolute Rolls Royce in North America next summer?
I don't think he would have picked up 375 grand a week in the Spanish second division.
Well, I don't know. Let's have a go.
It's like the other day when people were saying like
375.
Jack Wilshere be doing that Sunday League game.
Yes.
Everyone was filming him. Look how good he is. He's like 32.
Yeah.
Like, he's played for England.
Yeah, you guys were talking about obviously Jack Wilshere starting a career.
Did you see his first team talk?
No, I didn't.
It wasn't very good.
Come on, it's the first one.
Because I interviewed him 2 years ago. And
did you suggest management to him?
I said management. He didn't strike me as being the most charismatic person you've ever met, and I do worry that footballers do need a little bit more. He also couldn't climb some stairs, so I think his legs are absolutely
they're on backwards.
Well, maybe he needs to.
They're on backwards.
maybe he needs to.
He's following a cow.
He needs to ride around on a cow.
And he's right down on the cow.
Yeah.
But I did feel sorry for him, a man of such talent and had so many.
Definitely the best midfield player I've seen with backwards legs.
Exactly, massively.
English.
Let's have sideways legs.
English, yeah.
Oh dear. Well, it's 4:30 at Sunday.
I think
it'll be a lovely treat.
I think Liverpool will beat Man United. It's an absolutely textbook 4:30 Sunday game.
You've got to watch this one.
Gravy on your clothes.
Big
fixture,
time.
isn't it?
Absolutely
Nodding
right.
off at half time.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
No, but
0-0 after an hour. What?
Strap you.
What?
But it is the fixture, of course, history of the fixture. The 100th time. At Anfield, but just the state of the two teams at the moment and what's going on. A lot of narrative. Get involved, everybody. Well, we might not get the scenes like we did on Tuesday night in Taiwan, where they were facing Thailand in the third round of Asian Cup qualifying for the World Cup. During the game, they were doing live updates on the scoreboard on the big screen using a Microsoft PowerPoint. So let's hope Anfield have got their admin in
Apparently,
place.
that's quite a big thing in that part of the world.
Is it really?
Because I saw a lot of replies to the video of that on X, formerly known as Twitter, where there's like... Someone posted a reply video of some people sitting in the departure lounge of an airport. I think it might have been maybe in the Philippines, so not a million miles away from there, where the flight's delayed.
Yeah.
The bloke is standing behind the counter with the TV screen above him.
Nice doing
on PowerPoint, just typing in 30 minutes.
I don't mind that.
That's good.
If it works, it works.
Hitting the presentation buttons so it flashes up.
Do you know? I mean, the only reason why we know it's necessarily PowerPoint is that you can see the collection of slides on the left-hand side. There is an option on PowerPoint, so you don't see that. You dual screen it.
I mean, he's got to work it out.
Would you be happy to...
HDMI session.
Yeah, but I just worry, though, that there's an argument about fonts about to happen.
Would you be happy...
He's used Wingdings. We don't know where we're going.
Would you be happy to go to Taiwan to help them out with their
sort
PowerPoint?
them out, yeah. I mean, if Taiwan can't get it right...
Exactly.
I'm not being funny,
It's the
guys.
home of tech.
It's the home of the microcomputer.
Get a semiconductor.
Get a semiconductor
on
in
there.
it. Right out loud.
Yeah, a Chinese representative says, we can help out. No.
Yeah. Thailand beat Taiwan 6-1 in their own backyard. So you know.
They'll do that.
Shove your
Thailand
PowerPoint up your...
Exactly.
Whoops.
Thailand also known as the War Elephants. Great nickname.
That's a great
name.
Yeah.
And Taiwan are the Blue Wings. Not as good.
Still not bad.
Still great.
Still not bad.
I was going to get
I'd watch an anime with those two.
I was going to get into why the BBC website keep calling them Chinese Taipei, but we haven't got time for that now.
It's interesting.
That is disappointing.
Very disappointing.
I thought the ruling was that we don't call them that.
Well, check the BBC website. Take it up with them.
Right, coming up after this, a huge game for Ange.
Are you excited to get started? Don't push me. You're on television. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good being manhandled by security, Eric. It's Man United, a big club.
Well, back to the football ramble, everybody. Now, Nottingham Forest hosts Chelsea.
Don't push me on television.
Don't push me on television.
All right, turn the camera off then.
Let's get pushy.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 12:30, Peter, the Tricky Trees host Chelsea. A huge game for Postecoglou after the Sean Dyche rumours.
That's demeaning, isn't it?
I think Ange would have preferred to have had a few points on the table before this one. Because it's a difficult match. And it's early in the morning, just as it's dawning.
That's right, yeah. Of course, Chelsea went there last season and won. I think it was by 1-0. And that was crucial. It was a clincher for getting Chelsea into the Champions League, and a damning result for Forest it was. So a teensy bit of history between these two sides of late. But yes, all eyes on Ange Postecoglou in the dugout. Because, look, I mean, if they don't get a result here, then my goodness, Nottingham Forest, languishing in 17th, just a point above Burnley and West Ham, and just 3 above Wolves in 20th. Not good times.
I think if they lose this game, I think he'll lose his job.
Do you think it's as simple as that?
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, I think
he's that jumpy?
I think they will lose, and I think he will lose his job. I think that's what's going to happen.
No, I think he's going to jump, Peter.
Absolutely, no, especially not given the contract he signed about fucking 10 minutes ago.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I mean more the chairman, but yes.
But it'll be.
He's pushy.
If he does lose his job, it will probably be one of the best financial decisions in football history. Essentially, like 7 weeks of indignity. To hoover up loads and loads of money.
Yeah, is it the no? Because Pardew got bought out, didn't he? I suppose to go to Palace.
Not really sure.
Bruce had a long contract, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was there for ages. What did that man have to suffer?
He did have to suffer.
A long time. That was a proper stretch, that, wasn't it? Yeah. That was basically that was like him being in jail on the wing with all the snitches and pedos. He was getting abused every single week.
Topical.
He was. He was.
Yes, difficult.
Ange's only been there for.
It's hard to be on the non-swing.
as Lost Prophets famously sang. Yeah. I said that because Mark's are getting annoyed.
Yeah.
But I do think he'll lose his job if they lose this game. I think there's no coincidence that...
Compared to Ian Watkins.
No.
You are, though.
I'm not.
Compared to Ollie Watkins.
I'm comparing it to Ian Watkins from Steps.
Good. All right.
Yeah, I do think there's a really good chance he'll be out of work if they lose this game. I think it's no coincidence all the stuff that's swirling around. Marinakis a very unpredictable owner. It will be some 2-3 months this. I mean, going from Nuno, who was broadly loved by the fans for what he did for them, the players seem not even fully over it yet.
Yeah.
And that's partly contributing to how bad Forest have been. And for them to wake up in, I don't know, a week's time and have Sean Dyche as their manager is just a crazy set of circumstances. I mean, it's really odd.
It is odd. Yeah.
And I don't think Chelsea have been without their problems, of course, but they have recently appeared to have picked up a little bit. I think one of the things you have to remember about Chelsea is that the issues they've had, say, the Bayern Munich game, certainly the Man United game, maybe even the Brighton game as well, I can't quite remember that one as clearly, is errors, individual errors, stupid stuff, right? And so, and Maresca can include himself in that because obviously he's not going to be on the touchline for this game because he's got a ban. But if they can move past that, I mean, they're easily good enough to beat this Forest. I mean, this Forest under Ange look absolutely incoherent. So,
I mean, yeah, you're right. With Chelsea, I find it interesting. You look at the injuries they've got; it's quite a lot, and then you kind of go, they've still got a lot of players. I mean, they signed everybody, but they are missing some key players. I'm slightly worried for Chelsea that this season is going to be the same as last season. Now, when I say I worry about that, they still won, obviously, the Conference League, which was a bit of a gimme, but fair, they won it. And then they win the World Club Championship. They qualified for European competition. At the moment in the Premier League, I think we're all agreed that the title race will go down to Arsenal versus Liverpool. Some might say Man City are going to be in there. But those three, I think, are the best three sides in the league, despite Spurs and Bournemouth being above Man City at the moment. But for Chelsea, I do feel that this season is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, Liverpool, certainly not at the moment, aren't as strong as they were. Arsenal can have the odd funny result here and there. I don't think Chelsea have got enough to catch those two teams. But there's a possibility. If you remember last season, around, would it have been November, December time, there was very, very teensy little talk of, could Chelsea have a little title tilt and so on, which, of course, went away sort of fairly soon. So I think Chelsea is still in that kind of mire with, mire's too strong a word, but they're still in that phase where that funk maybe where yes they are going to win more than they don't, but despite some of the quality they've got, Moises Caicedo seems to be getting his flowers all over the internet, being possibly the best or one of the best players in the Premier League, and that's fair. I think he probably has been.
Yeah, he's been amazing. He's been amazing.
I think he has been slightly underrated.
But I think what I would say is they They're very active in the transfer market, of course. As you mentioned, they've got a lot of players. But they seem to have not been able to move past this idea that they still have very obvious holes in their team, shortcomings. Like if you look at I still don't really trust them up front.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say they've got an outstanding striker. They need a better goalkeeper for sure. Like Pedro Neto's had a really boring start to the season playing off the right, and he plays every single game, and he's not really contributed. Playing off the left will probably be Esteval, who scored the winner, of course, late on against Liverpool.
Yeah,
Great
so
moment
hopefully
for him.
that can propel him because
he's a young prospect.
Of course,
else.
but very, very talented.
He's having a lovely time.
They just seem a bit imbalanced, a bit
Cole
unreliable. Cole Palmer missing is obviously massive.
Maybe back like November time, I think.
Right,
but it was. I mean, it's a sickening with what happened to Liam Delap. Now I understand that it's not like Liam Delap is a very experienced Premier League player. You can, they're going to miss his 25 goals or whatever this season. I understand that. But it was a bit of a sickening because there was a player who was raring to go, and what could he do? I would say, though, that João Pedro's had a decent enough start to the season. But it is just that slight disjointed kind of play because with Maresca, there's not that much we've got to go on with his managerial career. Very impressive with Leicester in the Championship, played some great stuff and obviously got them promoted into the Premier League with Chelsea. As I say, last season, there are flashes. And we've seen bits and pieces. You know, again, qualifying for Champions League is no mean feat, and winning those two aforementioned trophies, particularly the Club World Cup. I think Chelsea fans are like, right, come on, can we kick on?
Yeah.
And I think games like this, when you go to Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest, it's there for them. Because on their day, they can defend. On their day, they can attack. Get that right. They could, as you say, Luke, they could run out pretty comfortably, getting 3 points here. And if they did...
Great time to play him.
It absolutely is, Pete. And I think that if they were to win this, particularly win it comfortably, then what else is there for Postecoglou and Forest to do? Oh, but come on, just give him more time. In football, when you see things as obvious as this... You're going to throw away a Europa League campaign and you're going to get yourself into a relegation battle. And it's two things that you didn't think would happen at the end of last season.
What's happening with Forest at the moment in microcosm, if it kind of goes to its natural endpoint, which you'd expect it to, is in microcosm exactly what happens when you have like private owners of clubs in this way. Like, because Marinakis comes in, obviously they spend a huge amount of money, do well, but he's incredibly volatile. You know, you'll have to... They'll look,
old school, innit?
They'll look back on this. You know, if we fast forward a week or two and Dyche is in situ, I'm not saying he wouldn't do a good job, whatever, but he's totally different level of manager and totally different ambitions and way of playing and all the rest of it. I suppose his way of playing is probably, you know, he's more similar to Nuno's than, say, Postecoglou's is.
Yeah.
But the point I wanted to make was just that it has to go down as like an incredible act of self-harm. You know, there's a real lack of diplomacy in the Nuno, Edu, Marinakis situation, which from nowhere causes this real problem where it ends up Nuno losing his job. They were doing fine.
But the quotes Nuno was coming out with, he was always very, very statesman-like and politician-like. In the previous season, when Marinakis comes onto the pitch at the end of the game, much noted about that, he was very calm. Whereas when he started saying certain things, I remember thinking, Nuno, mind how you go there.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course it ends up as it does.
And I think the real litmus test for me with Postecoglou was when the way the Forest fans reacted when Michelin beat them in the Europa League. I mean, this is their first home game in Europe for many years.
Absolutely.
They're looking forward to it. It's a real showpiece event. They're delighted to be in Europe. And by the end of the game, their own fans are singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning."
There's no way they're losing that game under Nuno. I understand West Ham beat them 3. Graham Potter's West Ham beat them 3-0 at the City Ground. But I totally.
But Moises Caicedo versus Elliot Anderson is the clash of the week, midfield clash of the weekend.
Stumpy and bums
Brilliant,
out.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, Elliot Anderson going to England now, what a holiday that is for him. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, well, he's got to start. He's got 1 minute, he's all over the place at Forest, not through, I would argue, of any fault of his own. And at England, he's like, oh, well, get him in the midfield with Rice. Could he play with Bellingham? He's thinking, I'm loving this. Enzo Maresca, though, as you mentioned earlier, won't be in the dugout for this game. He's been given a 1-match ban after his celebrations against Liverpool. He's been fined $8,000. Come on, up those fines. That's piss poor. If you want to earn a few quid, Premier League, then do a percentage rather than a fixed fee.
Yeah.
Okay. As the FA put it, though, with regard to the one-match ban, it was alleged that we saw it. We all saw it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was alleged that the manager acted in an improper manner and or used abusive and or insulting words and or behaviour during the fixture. What did he do? Which led to his dismissal around the 96th minute.
It's a choose your adventure novel. Turn to page 5 if it was insulting words. Turn to page 48 if it was insulting behaviour. And turn to page 32 if it was acting in an improper manner.
Absolutely right.
You are dead.
You are dead.
Goblin
has killed you.
Don't forget also, we can't up the fine.
No.
Because if we do that with these millionaires, they'll all just leave the country. So you remember that?
Yeah. You cannot levy
do that.
any kind of
It'll just go and manage elsewhere.
And the trickle down won't reach
exactly.
the very, very grateful recipients.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, dear. Now, before we bring you some quite sensational stuff that's been happening on the Football Ramble Discord, I want to talk about a former Nottingham Forest man, Jonjo Shelvey.
Former Newcastle man as well, Peter.
Former everyone man.
Former everybody.
It's like that game we play sometimes.
He's obviously playing in the Dubai. It's third tier, isn't it? He's playing.
Oh, that was second tier, but third tier.
I think it's third. I don't think it's third.
It's not top flight.
It's not top flight.
It's not top flight. No. It's not fully professional. No. But he's over there.
He's basically the only bloke to have gone to the Middle East for a job and not really getting paid very much.
For the lifestyle.
Isn't Ramble Morrison playing for the same team?
Name me one other person.
Yeah,
No, he's not playing for the same team, is he?
I think they is, yeah.
Is it the same team?
Yeah, same team.
Okay.
Right.
Well, so I was about to say, name me another person who's moved to the Middle East for less money. It's a complete invert.
I was about to say, I think my mate, I was like, no, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, why else?
Well, he's revealed reasons why he's moved to play football in Dubai. See, he doesn't want his children to grow up in England.
Yeah, and did you see the response to that? A lot of people online have been painting the St George's flag on his bald head like it's a roundabout.
Yeah.
I'm not usually into the bald heady stuff, but it was a good one.
It's great.
It really
you simply have to say it's a good one.
It really confused me because I thought, there's the flag, but he doesn't want to live in England.
No.
Right.
I was like, which side do I come down on?
It's funny because his main kind of axe to grind. Bearing in mind that footballers do not experience any real reality in any city that they live in. They live out in the sticks in these kind of massive houses.
Where?
But
what street?
What streets?
Where do they
Tell
live?
me. I want to interview them.
Football Street.
He did like living in the northeast of England, though. He really liked that.
Well, that's what I mean. He had me in the first half. The whole piece was like, London shit, Newcastle good. I was like, oh. But he did sort of say, I want to walk down the street with my watch. Now, I don't think there's a single democratic capital city in the world that you can walk down the street with a 40 grand watch on, and still feel comfortable.
Bern,
personally.
Switzerland?
Maybe. Yeah. But is that high street? Can you walk down the high street?
I just think Bern is the capital of Switzerland, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But and they also went on to sort of say, I'm seeing people who are getting in prison for tweets. I was like, mate, don't you be tweeting out there?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get more than in prison.
England's a totalitarian state. Where are you moving to? Dubai. Right, okay.
Good stuff.
Okay.
He just likes the chocolate.
Hey,
I'll tell you what, though,
let him go. Let him go.
They were absolutely kicking off in a game in the Middle East the other day.
Well, if he wants to wear his watch without any bother, fine. But if he doesn't want to have any plastic bottles thrown at him, then mind how you go on the pitch. Because you're right, Luke. Furious UAE fans were very angry during their game against Qatar, where Qatar won 2-1 in a crucial World Cup qualifier. So UAE, they can still qualify, but they've
got to go play
much
Iraq
more
now
difficult.
In a playoff, two-leg playoff, yeah.
And that then gets them into an intercontinental playoff. So
Mad.
There's a bit of spice in this fixture that they've had previous. But yeah, it was like, when we're saying that it kind of kicked off, do check this out, because security, people were trying to get on the pitch, security and rest of it, because you don't really think that, because I'm not saying they're not passionate about their football.
You know what I thought when I first saw it? It's a proper riot.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, none of this lot are pissed up.
No. Yeah, they've got,
seeing lads in Thorbs just going for crowd members, you're like, fucking hell, Jesus.
It was an absolute spectacle. But you're right, they can't blame the drink.
No.
So, but again, though, like I say, I know they're passionate about football in those parts of the world. Absolutely right. But UAE and Qatar, like, very low crime rates, always come across as
start.
Well, I'm going to go. I think, get me one of those. What are they called? Sorry, the white
Thorpe. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
With the 3 lines on the chest. Now you're talking. Come on. Who's
I've
with
only
me?
got black and white ones. Fine.
Yeah. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
No.
But I do love ham. I love the gammon.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not for me.
I don't think they've got too good to go out there either, mate.
Too good to go.
Well, the deal's off,
And
boys.
it's a bit of a commute to get to Craven Cottage every week.
All right, the deal's off.
But
anyway,
I thought it
was good to see.
What
It's good to see.
what I seriously thought.
British hooliganism.
What I,
Makes you proud to be alive, doesn't it?
who said the Empire was dead?
There's the legacy.
Yeah.
We left some stuff behind there.
We've got our game back. We've got our game back. Where's the patio furniture?
Sandals
Come
on the pitch.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, that's your shoes. You're walking home in your bare feet there, aren't you? Annoying.
Yeah.
But it's like...
George W. Bush is on the pitch picking them all up going, I can confirm the size 10.
In the hottest country in the world. Imagine bare feet on fucking asphalt. Ah! At least it means something, I suppose.
You know, like when back in the day they used to throw their hats up in the air to celebrate, and everyone used to get a different hat to go home with because they couldn't find it. It'd be like that with shoes, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, but they're on the pitch. I'll
I've got
get
two
them
left
back.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say that it would be interesting to see if FIFA passed down any kind of punishment for this, because if that was in Europe,
Oh my goodness.
you'd be
It would be a huge story.
closed door stuff, fines.
Well, there are suggestions that that's going to
but I mean, obviously the power base of football at FIFA level now is in the Middle East, right?
Yes.
I know it's not necessarily in the UAE, but like, part of the reason I presume why UAE fans were so annoyed is because Qatar were given an unfair advantage in this whole thing, as we mentioned before.
They should have said it. Yeah, indeed, should have been played in a neutral country.
Yeah, now the sons of Zayed have got to take on the Lions of Mesopotamia in a two-legged one to get through to the Intercontinental.
You'd fancy the Lions, wouldn't you?
I don't really know. Who's better out of those two teams?
Just on the name.
Just on the name of that.
Exactly.
But let me tell you though, Julian Lopetegui, manager of Qatar, of course.
Yeah.
He was a bit like, it wasn't great. 3 points though, wasn't great.
He was like, I've had worse reactions in West Ham.
He said, what you want to do is what the West Ham, the fans are way away from the pitch.
Yeah. They have to have a heavy sandal to reach me.
Yeah, they can't. Their Reebok Classics can't get that far. You know.
Yeah.
You know what, lads? I've got a little bit of news before we hit the break.
Oh, go on. What's happening?
I'm going to become a influencer, a soccer boot influencer.
Okay.
Look, he's going to become a soccer boot influencer.
I've become a soccer boot
It's a poor
influencer.
start.
Yeah.
Very poor. Yeah, you're not even convinced yourself of this.
Yeah, it's a really poor start.
I need a pair of football boots.
Yeah,
and
we all do.
The great thing about playing veteran football is no one really cares about like what. They care about the colour of the boot, but they don't really care about what kind of boots you're wearing. You're not going to get criticised for not wearing a Nike or an
Also, you don't
Adidas.
really get on, do you? So
No, exactly.
By the way,
I'm the best. I'll be the best booted linesman in the town.
I want to just clarify for those who perhaps from overseas don't understand this. When he says he plays veterans football, it's just over 35. He's not some war hero.
No.
Stolen Valor, Donaldson. That's what they call me. But
take your badges off.
take
your ribbons and medals off,
I
mate.
need to.
Yeah, is that little Victoria Cross? Did you get that on
Exactly.
vintage?
Well, I
Why is
basically
Pete late again? He's at the cenotaph again.
I required a new pair of football boots because it's getting a bit cold.
I saw this.
and he
I
said-
saw you posted it in the group.
So
Yeah.
I require comfort. I require style.
Yes.
I require a boot that says, "Look at me and look at what I'm doing."
Have
on
you gone for the
field."
old Harry Kane sketches?
No, I went onto Amazon and
Right.
I found.
Here we go. Great.
This is the first Ramble football boot unboxing that we've ever done.
Hopefully the last.
Yeah, hopefully the last. I've gone for the brand.
Go on.
We'll put it up on the screen on the
Like
YouTube.
Nike.
It's
Yeah.
Bottomans.
Bottomans.
Bottom, not
Bottomans.
Boatmans.
I was
No.
pronouncing boatmans.
Guess how much they were? £23.
Yeah.
Peter, send me the link.
Here they are.
Are they?
Hold them up to the
Unboxing.
camera.
Mouldies.
Hold them up the camera.
To be fair, they
They've
look
got
like
a fake Nike swoosh on them.
that is
They've got
that,
23 notes. Come on.
that's a bit like
Not bad.
That's a bit like saying I've got these new football boots. They're 4 stripes. That is so close to a Nike.
It's the colour of lust.
I
It
looked
is the
them up.
colour of blood.
Peter, I looked them up, and bearing in mind you are a man not of inadequate means. You're not a poor man.
No.
I wouldn't say.
Dress like one.
Yeah, but I looked
The
up.
1950s poor man.
I looked up the boatman shoes that you bought,
Bottomans.
football boots you bought, and you appear to have bought a pair of football boots off Amazon with the following product description. Boatman men's football shoes, breathable, boys, girls, soccer trainers, cleats, professional football boots, unisex.
And that's them saying that. That's just the SEO. But I'm going to find out what these are like at the weekend.
Put them on now. Put them on the ad break.
I'll put them on the
I want you to wear them for the rest of the
I'll
show.
wear them for the rest of the show.
No, wear them when you're for Jacks later.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Bottomans. The boys.
Do the
brand.
tagline to the camera.
Are you a Bottoman boy? men's football shoes, breathable boys, girls, soccer trainers, cleats, professional football boots, unisex. Start your bottling journey now.
Now, everybody, before we talk about the Premier League, I did say that there was something that happened on our Discord, which was worth mentioning. Pete, you and Vish were describing your business lunch last Friday, which consisted of beer and crisps, and you mentioned that that you went for prawn cocktail crisps,
which I would have in my top 3 flavours of crisps.
They're very good.
Okay, fine. Well, on the Football Ramble Discord, there is currently a tournament called the Crisp Bowl. It's a full-scale knockout tournament which pits different crisps against each other. It's down to the semi-finals.
I've got an update. It's actually now down to the final.
You're joking.
Oh, wow.
Well,
overnight.
So that's breaking
Tell us
news.
the semi-final draw, and I'll
So
tell you what happened.
semi-final draws were Doritos versus Monster Munch, and in the other side of the draw, it was Pringles versus Kettle Chips. As friend of the Ramble Moon put it, Monster Munch are the only non-seeded crisp left.
They did seedings.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Well, so for me, I hope Kettle Chips are in there because despite them, I think they're a British brand. Despite that, they still call them chips, not crisps. But I can overlook that for their magnificent taste.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of feelings on this. My only crisp left in that semi-final lineup, which I think is worth a damn, would be the humble Monster Munch.
You're not having Kettle?
Not really, but it doesn't matter.
Chili and sour cream are the best ones at the supermarket.
It's all irrelevant now because the final has been announced and it's Doritos versus Pringles.
You're joking.
And Pringles aren't even a crisp.
I'm gutted
I don't count
Doritos
Pringles
are
as
a corn chip.
Exactly. So the lads,
they're having a
Discord
giggle
doesn't
here.
let themselves down.
I'm gutted Kettle.
This is why I'm sure you don't have Osmond doing it on Twitter.
He used to do it at Christmas, didn't he?
He's doing Christmas.
Pickled onion
Christmas.
Monster Munch and the sizzling bacon, if you remember their Monster Munch.
Yeah, I like a spicy flaming hot as well.
Oh, flaming hot, of course, yeah. So Doritos versus Pringles, who's your money on?
Pringles all day, every day. Once
I think
you
it's
pop,
Alien.
you can't stop.
It's Alien versus Predator to me. Whoever wins, I lose. I've never purchased. If I had to purchase Pringles, I would buy the salt and vinegar flavour. If I had to purchase Doritos, I'd do the
tangy cheese,
cool ranch flavour.
I'd go Doritos, I think. Although I just feel like we've sold out to American imperialist capitalism.
I think Doritos,
which we gave them
yet again. I think Doritos are crisps for people who don't really like crisps. And the reason I don't like Kettle Chips necessarily, I will eat them, and I'm not going to turn my nose up at one. But in principle, to take this all the way back to the little rant I had about Notting Hill last week, was it last show on Wednesday?
Yeah. Oh, you feel it's a bit that, do you?
I just feel it's a bit like crisps used to be a really perfectly acceptable snack for the working class family.
Yeah.
And then some Don Draper. Because posh people didn't used to eat crisps, mate.
Oh, they
and then
did.
some Don Draper guy just went, oh, what if we make them really expensive and then wealthy people can eat them as well, and took it from us.
They're always on offer in the supermarket.
It was cultural.
Popcorn.
It was cultural vandalism, is what it was.
Okay, fair enough. Spurs versus Aston Villa, still in the Premier League draw. They play each other on Sunday at 2 p.m. Big news for Spurs. Fabio Paratici has returned after a 30-month ban from football. That was, of course, the punishment for his role in alleged false accounting at his previous club, Juventus.
Someone said you was banned.
When in Turin.
I mean, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, fine.
Absolutely fine.
Joint sporting directors at Spurs now, though. I smell a sitcom.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
My two dads. It's my two dads.
One can only tell the truth. The other can only lie.
Yeah.
Did Thomas Frank
Which
know
player
this?
you signing? Don't know.
Yeah. Does Thomas Frank know this guy was coming back? He's like, who are you? You're the guy who got banned. All right, okay. You find that you're on my ship now, big boy.
Yeah.
Well, Paratici's back. I don't know whether that will propel Tottenham to get a win against Aston Villa.
It's quite
or
an
not.
intriguing game, isn't it? Because Aston Villa have picked up.
Yeah, and Morgan Rogers, he needs to play with an England shirt on underneath his Villa shirt.
Right, okay, yeah, nice.
Spurs, there's still a few injuries and whatnot, but again, under Thomas Frank, they are ultimately going well. I mean, they're third in the table. They're only 2 points behind Arsenal, who lead, of course. They're scoring goals. What do you think about Spurs this season, Peter? Do you think that they can maintain this, or do you worry that they'll? No, I'm not going to say Spurs it up because that's not fair. Because
I think they I think they threw off those shackles some years ago after winning a European tournament.
You mean specifically last year?
Yeah, some years ago, by which I mean 0.3 years ago.
Yeah, well, eventually winning. The campaign starts, 6 months before. I think they've become a much more kind of tenacious, sort of chewy side to play, and I'm enjoying them play a lot more. It just feels like every goal they score, they're not going to let into at the back. So I think every Spurs fan's got every right to sort of be really, really happy with how Thomas Frank started and how different that side looks under him.
Yeah, well, defensively, they already look much better.
Yeah, and they've only really had one bad result, and that was against Bournemouth, who looked pretty good.
Yeah, good.
And that was a real surprise, wasn't it? Because
It's also interesting how quickly that Frank's got them purring away and got them drilled and got them playing in a way that's really commensurate with the quality of player they've got. They've obviously strengthened as well. They've brought some good players in. Obviously, Randall Mane hasn't even featured yet. I mean, he's still kind of languishing with injury issues, so he can come in as well and really strengthen them. I also think it's fascinating how, in his first press conference at Forest, Postecoglou was asked how long it's going to take the team to understand his way of playing. He was like, Wednesday. It'll be by Wednesday.
Which is the away game in the League Cup against Swansea.
Exactly.
Which they lost.
Yeah. But Frank's come in, changed how they play completely.
Yeah.
And it's been really good straight away.
Well, because we were all worried for them, weren't they, when they played PSG? You go all the way back to the Super Cup final.
And they gave a really good account of
so
themselves.
close to getting a famous result. But they did give a good account of themselves. And people might say, PSG were tired, blah, blah, blah. They're the European champions. Even if they're tired, they're still a good side. And you're right. They've kind of... He's turned it round, really, from what it was there last season.
He's Basuma's getting injured on international duty rather than at home.
Exactly. So there you are. You see,
progress.
But Villa themselves, down in 13th, not had a great start. But as you say, they've gone on a 4-game winning run. One man who's been doing a bit better in a Villa shirt and had scored in the international break was the Dutchman, Mr. Marlon. Big Doniel.
Right,
Big Don Marlon. Donny Marlon.
Donny Marlon.
There you
Got
go.
there in the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got your football boots on now?
Got your football boots on.
Oh,
now,
right,
yeah.
okay.
Got a blister
In
yet?
honour of Donny Marlon. What?
Got a blister yet?
Yeah, kind of hurts.
Bit tight, are they?
Yeah, a little bit tight. Yeah, not necessarily my size, but what are you going to do?
So what do you want to say about Doniel Marlon, Marcus?
I think he might be crucial. Watkins, don't know whether he'll start the game or feature. Got a bit of an injury.
They need good news stories, I think, Aston Villa at this point in time, away from home at Spurs. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, though, our very own Jim Campbell did say that at this point under Unai Emery, teams often find it a bit difficult when he's, 2 or 3 seasons into the job. And there's a little bit of stagnation. Failing to qualify for the Champions League was a bit of a blow. Didn't have a great transfer window. So, again, with Villa, okay, again, 4 matches on the bounce they've won. You've got to say that is an improvement. They're going in the right direction. It will be interesting to see if they can crunch through the gears and keep on going. Because it is a side who look like, much like they did last season, although they were much better off last season, I think some Villa fans will already be looking at that January transfer window saying who can come in and maybe kind of refresh a little bit, but it's still a little bit out there. So I think the form of Doniel Marlon has been certainly welcome for Aston Villa.
Both teams generally come off the back of international breaks winning matches, so it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. But Frank's not been great against Emery in the past, so maybe Emery's got his number.
Oh, well, 2:00 on Sunday. Get your eyes around that lot. Now, former Spurs man Jermaine Jenas has declared that the San Siro in Milan has the worst toilets in football. He said the actual guts of the San Siro is a bit of a shithole, because he spoke very glowingly about the stadium. He loved playing there as a player. You know, what an iconic ground. Well, they are. They're tearing it down, aren't they? Going to build another one. But he said the dressing rooms are tiny. I remember going to the toilet and all they had were these 2 handles and a frigging hole in the ground.
I've spoken about the San Siro toilets before. I'm drinking a pint, doing a wee, and watching the football at the same time. Shouldn't be allowed.
No.
But any of those kind of things happening at the same time.
Was that in the away end? Was it?
No, that was in the home end.
Oh, it was in the home. Of course, you were there for the Champions League final.
I thought you meant in the toilet.
Say again.
I thought you meant in the toilet you were doing all those things at the same time.
I was doing all those things at the
so
same
you
time.
were having a pint.
So there was a wall that had been kind of half knocked down. So
Yes.
I don't think you were allowed to drink alcohol while watching the match because it was Champions League. And I could do all of those things because I was stood in a toilet drinking at the urinal a beer and watching the match at the same time.
Not too shabby.
Jermaine Jenas slags
class.
it off.
I know.
Hey, is there everything you want?
He's probably worried about losing his really expensive watch.
You're speaking of doing lots of things at the same time. He's,
He's a non-multitasker.
banned for driving for mucking about on your phone over and over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
He does love his phone.
He loves a text. Loves
He
texting.
I have heard that in the away end, at the San Siro, the toilets are shabby.
Yeah.
I've been there before, but I was in home end, so it seemed
Get
okay.
yourself,
It is-
to Fratton Park.
But let me tell
It
you,
is crumbling. When people talk about Old Trafford crumbling, it is dust.
have you had the tour though? I had the tour. I tell you what, Jermaine, if you played for one of the home teams, toilets are lovely there.
Are they?
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Lovely.
Nice.
But the hole in the ground, I mean, it's French service station stuff, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Japanese long drops. Glastonbury.
Yeah. No, but at least Glastonbury got a Portaloo,
No,
which is a drop.
you still have the long drops where
Do you?
everyone's poo mixes together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, fair enough.
So you basically, would you say that the San Siro toilets are worse than Glastonbury toilets?
It's about the same.
What day? Friday or Sunday?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm drinking, watching the action.
But I mean, San Siro, as you said, is going to be demolished, but it's going to have a little farewell, isn't it? Because it's going to be one of the hosts for the Winter Olympics first.
Is that right?
So it's going in the start of 2027, which will be almost exactly 100 years of it being a stadium.
How about that?
So slagging it off, but it has been there since 1926.
Get yourself along there if you haven't already.
We will miss it.
Yeah.
Well, you still can.
If you are going there, though, do not use the away dressing room toilets, though.
No, I'll try not to.
All right. Thank you very much for listening to the Football Ramble, part of the Acast Creator Network. Remember to drop us that 5-star review wherever you're listening.
Slash it.
Yes.
Splashbackers all over Apple Podcasts.
5 brown stars.
We will, of course, see you later on today for Jack's Encyclopedia, where I take on Luke Moore.
Oh, right. Is that what's happening?
After that very questionable victory that you had in the last time we faced off in Jack's.
I imagine it'll be a bueno game.
There we go. Naughty. Thank you, Pete Donaldson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke Moore.
Thank you very much.
See you later on.
Oh, they look so good.
Terrible boots.
Look at those studs.